So many things that they brought which changed, as I said, the whole geography of the Caribbean. So if you think of this area where we are now, this particular area on the Caribbean swamp. So if you did not belong here, you come and you say, what is in the Caribbean swamp? There's no swamp here. That is what it was up to 25, 30 years. This whole area, most of Caribbean, most of Nariva, most of the Oropush Lagoon was swamp, total swamp. And the English couldn't bother with that because they couldn't plant sugar cane in the swamp, which is what they wanted to do. But they can't plant sugar in the swamp, they plant in all the hills and so on. So why it is that in all of these former swamps, like here, they said right here where we are, you have these wonderful buildings, you have such good habitations, schools, mosques, mandirs, everything. Why? Because the Indians were entitled to 5 acres of land. If you decided to go back, you and your family had an entitlement for them to pay the passage. If you decided not to go back, then at first they gave you £5, and then later 5 acres of land. That is what was current for most of the time up to 1898. Got your 5 acres of land. But the British thought that they were fooling these stupid people. We're going to give them the land that nobody wants. Who wants one? Snake, alligator, crab, who wants that? So most of the lands that the Indians got, people say Indians got land. I would say 95% of the land, the 5 acres that the Indians got, were really swamp land. The English call it bad land, but the Indians who had come, and if you go to India, if you go to Bihar, if you go to Uttar Pradesh, if you go to Jharkhand, I was there, spent a whole month in August last year, touring the areas, talking to people and so on. You still had planting, right? They still have snow. So here you had a people who were accustomed to swamp life in India. So when you give them swamp and you feed, you give them land that nobody wants. When you say what fowl refuse duck will eat. So you're giving these Indians the land, so you're saving the money to send them back to India. And you're giving them, in their view, useless land. What they put Indians to land is like they put duck to water. They use their ancient techniques which they had developed over thousands of years in the Indo-Gangetic plain, where we had transformed vast areas of swampland, vast areas of desert land by using proper irrigation methods and so on. So when they came, they took these lands and they developed these lands and they have made these lands, I want you to keep remembering what I said, wasteland, bad land, land that no cane could grow. The English people said, man, if all you want it, take it, 5 shillings an acre. When the Indians, in addition to what they got, they said, you want and take one. That is bad land, 5 shillings an acre. And the Indians bought the land because they had that foresight, they had that far-seeing mind, that vision that they brought from India. So they bought the land. And that is why so much of that so-called bad swampland end up in the hands of these Indian immigrants. And these are very real achievements that we must remember at this particular time. When the Muslims came and they were dropped off at Nelson Island became the site where the Indians were dropped off from 1865. Before that it was by the Magdalene Tower on Wrightson Road, 1845 to 1865 to 1917 Nelson Island. So when the Indians are brought, the Muslim Jamaats, this is something that I want you to remember also. In this area or in the south area, most of my work was done in the various estates in the south. So when the Jahaj had brought this into the Nelson Island, and they came by sloop to San Fernando Harbor, and there you would have gari, that's horse carriages, donkey carts and so on. And you would take them to the dock and bring them to the place where the owners of these Indians were waiting for them. And then for every galley load that came in on the top of Rushford Street, where you have a sort of banks and so, that was the toll gate. That was called the toll gate. And every time a galley brought these people there, you would have somebody from one of the Jamaats in that area who would say, "Is galley me? Koi Muslimani? Is galley me? Koi Muslimani? Are there any Muslims on this galley?" And at the back of the galley, you would hear, "Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah." And he would go and fetch them and then carry them to the particular estate where they were and make sure that they got in a proper place in the barracks and so on. But these imams and these Maulvis would insist with plantation owners that these fellows you have to bring them to Juma, you have to bring them to prayers, you have to bring them all the time. That was a condition on which the Muslim leaders were very insistent. And we have to remember that. We have to remember all the Muslim leaders who joined up with the Hindu leaders and agitated for improvement in the Indian community. And it's largely because of the leadership provided by the Muslim leaders again that Muslim marriages were recognized for the first time in Trinidad and Tobago in 1935-36 during that administrative year. That is the first time that Muslim marriages are recognized in this country. And I suppose the Hindu brothers were a little bit slower in their agitation, and so they got recognition in 1945. And one of the sad things about all of this story that I'm telling you about the recognition of marriages is that even though a Muslim couple have been married with very proper nikah, or a Hindu couple have been married with 3 or 4 days of wedding and prayers and the condiments, the British did not recognize it. And one of the cruelest things in the history of this country is that one of these French Creoles, they have what they call insider information. And they would find out that Muhammad Aziz had died 3 years ago, and he had 5 acres of land, he had 4 or 5 cattle, he had sheep and goats and so on. Nice piece of place he'd set up. And that fellow would work with the red laws, they had inside information. And go and tell the lady, say, "It's not married." She said, "What do you mean it's married?" You were never married. "What do you mean?" "I was married." "You're married." So, "Madam, according to the law, you were not married." And so hundreds of Hindu and Muslim women were set adrift, land taken by that Creole community that is in charge of the government. And that is one of the very sad things that happened in this country as far as the Indians were concerned. But despite all of these problems, they didn't rebel on their estates and say, "I'm not going to work." They said, "No, I have made a 5-year contract, I'm going to remain." And they assisted the whole plantation system. I said earlier on about all the various things, and that even wasn't a complete list of what they brought in the Jahazi bundle. But the Muslims were the people. I don't know how many of you know who created Parati. I'm talking about Basel Friends. That was a Muslim creation. The family, let me give you the story. Most of the cooks, most of the bandaris on the Indentureship were Muslims. Majority, but you have very few Hindus because the Hindu ones who cross Parapan, they cross water, they lose fast. That didn't apply in Islam. So most of the bandaris were Muslims. And these fellows were so very intelligent, so let me tell you what they did. So when they had to be on a ship, and when they had to provide for 300-400 jihadis in the ship, and the amount of chapatis you have to make, imagine, the amount of chapatis that for 300 people, 3 times a day, they're like 1,000 chapatis a day. So these Muslim bandaris talked among themselves, consulted Shura and Ijma among Muslims. And so they then went to the ship owners and they said, "Look, we have a plan, to make Paratha route." So they went and got the ship owners to commission the big tower. And they got the ship owners to commission the big doubler, the doubler that looks like an orb. And they got big bags of flour on the ship. And so on the ship, replacing them from making 1,000 chapatis, they made enormous loy like this. And they would bury the loy and put it onto the tower. And that the ship owners were really very delighted. But it saved them a lot of money. And it made feeding very easy. And that is how paratha was created. But then why do we call it bus up shop? We call it bus up shop because, the Pharaoh, you had 300 people sit on so on, 200 people sit on so, and you had to feed them. So they took the doubler and bus it up and bus up the parathas. That's how it became called bus up shop. So that if you have one paratha, you put the whole thing and as you walk around, you put a handful here, and you put a handful here, and you put a handful here. So that is why, so that is a creation of the Muslims on the ship. And that is why it is called bus up shop. If you go to India and you ask for paratha, it is something very different from what we have. And if you let him bus up the paratha in India, well, she yesterday quarreling about that. You don't bus up the paratha in India. It's a very different kind of roti. But the Muslims, the Muslim bandaris on the ship, created the paratha in order to fill an enormous void. And then the final point I want to make is that a lot of these Indians, Hindus and Muslims, seeing the kind of weak animals, mules they had on their estate, mules and donkeys, pulling cane, and once the mule get into the sapati of mud and it stick, and they beat the mule, they break his foot, so the mules are very unsatisfactory. The Indian indentured laborers, these coolies, smart people that they were, told the plantation owners. And in India we have animals that are much better than this mule that you're using. And so the planters listened to them. And that is how you have Indian zebu cattle being brought on the Jahaj on the advice of these Indian indentured laborers. And the Indian zebu cattle replaced the mules on the estate, causing at that time an enormous technological transformation. Like tractor replacing animals, when you have all of these zebu animals coming from India to the Caribbean. So that is an important innovation that the Indians made. And later on, as the zebu, the breed of the zebu cattle fell down a little bit and they were not getting enough zebu animals from India, the Indians said, look, we have something even better than zebu cattle. I said, what is it you have that's better than zebu cattle? I said, paisan. He said, paisan. So paisan replaced zebu animals as a superior animal, as a superior form of transport. Again, on the advice of these Jahajis and Jahajin who were working on their estate and advising the planters and the plantation owners how to improve your crop. And when the planters complained very much about mapipi in the cane field, too many rats, the Indians said, no problem. In India, we have something called mongoose. And so, traps and traps of hundreds of mongoose were brought, not only to Trinidad, but as far as Cuba in the north, Santo Domingo, from India. So that, on an occasion like this, we have to remember the tremendous sacrifice, the tremendous intelligence that these people have, the way in which in that simple Jahaji Banda, they were able to transform the whole geography, not Trinidad and Tobago alone. I want you to bear in mind that 500,000 Jahajis came to the British, French, and Dutch Caribbean. 500,000. 259,000 to Guyana, the second largest number to Trinidad. So it's a whole kind Caribbean transformation that we are talking about, wrought by and brought about by the presence of these people from Bharat. Therefore, on an occasion like this, we all have to be happy. We should all be proud. We should look back on all of those years from 1845 to now, on the tremendous sacrifice, on the tremendous ingenuity, on the tremendous, I haven't even spoken a word about music and song and dance and contributions in the cultural, not a word, but you can't say everything at the same time. So I concentrated on the physical contribution that they have made and the way in which Quran and Tulsi Ramayana kept them spiritually for all that time and over all of these problems. So on this occasion, I want to wish you Shubh Bharatya Anewale Din. Thank you.